Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be telling you 10 different tips and tricks on how to perfect your base. So I'm going to tell you how you can get a flawless looking base like you see right now on my face, and I'm going to tell you tips and tricks on how you can do that. So without wasting much time, let's get started with today's video. Before which, please take a moment to hit the red color subscribe button underneath this video and also hit the bell notification so that you get notified every single time I upload. So let's get started. Tip number 1 is to have a good and decent skincare routine. Now, you do not have to have an extensive skincare routine when you have 10 different steps, you do the essence, you do the serum and all that. You do not need to, follow those 10 intense skincare routine steps. It is enough to do a CTM routine in order to have a good and a decent skin, and makeup on decent or good skin is bound to go much more smoother and nicer than a skin that has so much condition and so much of dirt and stuff. So do your skincare routine right. I have actually done a video on a simple CTM routine. If you're interested, do check it out. I'll put a card up here or here, I don't know where it goes. So do check that video out for a simple skincare routine. Tip number 2 is to shave your face. Now, shaving your face is quite, personal choice, I would say. Some people like to shave their face, some people do not like to shave their face. But if you do shave your face like once in a month or something, your foundation is going to go on much smoother. This is because while shaving your face, you're also exfoliating, and also you're removing the dead skin cells on the surface of your skin, and also you're removing all the peach fuzz that you might have, to which your foundation or base products might get stuck to. So shaving your face does really help in a more smoother and flawless application of foundation. So do shave your face if you are comfortable with it. If you're not comfortable with it, then you can skip this step. Tip number 3 is kind of like an extension to the first tip that I mentioned, is to moisturize your face. Moisturizing your face is so important for your foundation application to be smooth, flawless and nice, because foundation on dry skin is going to cling on to your dry patches. It's going to give a patchy look. It's not going to look as flawless as you would think it should look. So moisturize your skin, keep that skin hydrated, keep the skin underneath the makeup moisturized, nice and plump, so that your foundation application is much more smoother and flawless. Point number 4 is to apply a primer. Now, primer is basically used to temporarily correct all your skin issues. For example, if you have large open pores, you can use a pore filling primer to kind of fill into those pores. If you have some hyperpigmentation and generally pigmentation issues or dullness, you can use a color correcting primer. If you have extreme dryness, then you can use a hydrating primer. Thus you can correct your skin and then move on to applying foundation. And also, in addition to this, primer makes your foundation and your entire base makeup to last much longer. So that's my tip number 4. Tip number 5 is to color correct. For example, brown skin tone like mine, or dusky or deep skin tone, are bound to have this issue of hyperpigmentation around their mouth, dark circles, patches of darkness on their skin. If you apply a foundation directly on top of it, it's going to look gray, and you might end up having gray patchy areas all over your face. Across your face, you're going to have gray and patchy areas. So to avoid that, you can use a very salmon color or an orange color corrector to correct those areas, so that you can neutralize that hyperpigmentation areas, and when you go on top of it with a foundation or a concealer, it's gonna look freaking flawless and you're gonna avoid that grayness. And also, do not forget to set your color corrector using a translucent or any loose powder or even a compact powder, so that your color corrector underneath the foundation does not mix in with the foundation and turn orange. So I personally like to set my color correctors with a powder or a translucent powder. Tip number 6 is going to be choosing a foundation that suits your skin type. So basically I've made an entire video on how to choose a foundation, how to choose a color, how to choose a finish and all that. I'll leave a card here or here. You can go and check out that video so that you can find even more details. But basically you need to choose a finish of foundation that is suitable for your skin type. For example, if you're of an oily skin type, you do not want to go in with a dewy foundation because that's going to make your skin look even more oily. So you want to opt for a matte foundation. And if your skin is dry, you do not want to choose a matte foundation because it's going to dry out your skin even more, and it's going to exaggerate those dry patches onto your skin and it's going to cling onto it. You want to opt for a dewy foundation. So if you're dry skin, opt for a dewy foundation. If you're an oily skin or combination skin, opt for a matte foundation. Or you can also opt for a demi matte foundation if you're like of a combination skin type, which I am. Tip number 7 is to choose the right foundation and concealer shade for your skin tone. Do not go in with a lighter foundation shade or even a darker foundation shade. Go in with a foundation shade and a concealer shade that's gonna exactly match your skin tone. If you're planning to highlight underneath your eyes, you can choose a concealer which is 1 or 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, not more than that. Do not go in with a concealer that's like 5 shades lighter than your skin tone. That's gonna end up looking funny and gray underneath your eye. So choose a foundation that actually matches your skin tone. You can swatch the foundation right here. The foundation that blends right into your skin tone is the shade for you. Tip number 8. Choose a great tool for the application of your foundation. You can either use a kabuki brush or a makeup sponge to apply your foundation, but in my opinion, a flawless base is achieved when you use a makeup sponge because the sponge does soak in a little bit of product, and it's not going to leave excess product onto your skin. For example, if you've applied way too much foundation, then the sponge is going to soak up all the excess and it's going to give a flawless, smooth and natural finish to your skin. So in my opinion, a damp beauty sponge is what you need for your application of foundation and your concealer. If you go in with your brush as well, it's not a big problem, but I find that brush kind of tends to be a little streaky. I do not like the finish of a brush personally. And make sure you use a damp sponge and not a dry or a wet, a soaking wet sponge. Just damp sponge will do. Tip number 9. Use a setting spray to lock in all the layers of the foundation. For example, when you apply your foundation and concealer, you can use a setting spray to make the foundation and concealer blend better. And also, once you're done with setting your face with a powder, you can again go in with another layer of setting spray. So sandwiching each and every layer with a setting spray will make your base much more long lasting and it's going to make it look flawless. That's a trick that I've been following for a long time and it has worked out so well for me. Tip number 10 is to lock in your base with a powder. Now, if you're oily skin, then you have to set underneath the eyes and as well as all over your face so that your oils do not seep in and it does not break your foundation or your concealer apart. If you're dry skin, it's enough if you set underneath your eyes because underneath your eyes your concealer might crease and it can settle down into the fine lines of your eyes. So do set it in with a powder. A light dusting of powder would do. You do not have to set your entire face. So those were all of my tips and tricks on how to perfect your base and make it look flawless and long lasting throughout the day. If you did enjoy my video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please share, comment and also do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time in another interesting video. Until then, take care. Tata, bye bye.